What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, I want to issue a bit of a warning today because the signs that I'm starting to get from Bitcoin aren't the best ones. And although we are, long-term bulls and we are long-term bullish, expecting that we will see prices continuously climb over time, it does seem as if in the short term we could really see this continuation to the downside, continue, to what could be, $58,000, $55,000, $56,000 for Bitcoin. And so because of that, I of course want to prepare you as much as I possibly can. And with that in mind, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into it. Now, guys, please don't forget, if you do use the link down in the description below, you can sign up for CoinW and get up to $30,000 in rewards. You don't need a VPN, you don't need the KYC, meaning you don't need to give them any of your personal information. And on top of the $30,000 in rewards that you can get, you'll actually get free access to our trading group, in which you're actively doing trades, live streams, posting technical analysis, and much more. Again, it's completely free to you. You just need to sign up to CoinW down below. So check out the verification group link down there as well if you do want to get into this free group. But with that in mind, as I mentioned before, let's talk a little bit about what Bitcoin's doing, because again, the signs are starting to point in the direction in which we could see this pullback continue. So what we can see is that, of course, yes, Bitcoin put in this structure here. Now, as we put in this structure, we of course started to come back down. We built up a little liquidity zone that sits between roughly 56 or 59 and about $61,000 right here. And while Bitcoin has been doing a good job of holding some support here, don't get me wrong, all hope isn't lost, right? But what you can see is that as we came back down this most recent time to build into this support, we found that support bounced back to the upside and immediately ran into the 618 to 786 zone to the top side, this little micro Fibonacci retracement zone. What was worrying to me is the fact that we didn't even try to venture into this thing once. We literally just ran into it and immediately got rejected off of it and went right back to the downside without a retest, without going back up in it. I mean, anything like that. So there was really no bullish momentum that was strong enough to match the energy that the bears were bringing here at the 618 to 786 zone. And when that happens, it tells me like, oh shit, there is a possibility that we are looking at some type of stronger continuation to the downside, or really some type of more macro pullback, because again, the bulls are just not strong enough to be able to capitalize on a zone like this. Now, as we did start to see, of course, this zone reject us to the downside, what we can now see is that we are again trying to figure out where are we going to build up some support. And where we are right now is really the last level of support that we have before what could possibly be a continuation as low as $56,000. Let me explain. Well, of course, what we can see is that we had, of course, this swing low all the way back up to this swing high right around roughly $67,000. Now, this creates this swing high. Let's get rid of that actually. This creates a swing low to swing high range. Now, on that range, you're going to have, of course, your 618 to 786 Fibonacci zone to the downside, and this is going to serve as support. Once you start to retrace through this move that you put right here, start to retrace through it, you're going to run into support at the 618 to 786 zone. It's just what always happens. But the issue is that if this zone fails to hold some support, if this zone does not hold up, generally speaking, you're going to see the price return back to the range low that created this swing high or swing low to swing high. But even sometimes you're going to go further down than that previous low and look for a Fibonacci extension, which in this example looks like about 57.8 to as low as $55.3 thousand to the downside. So the moral of the story being, we got rejected heavily off of a Fibonacci retracement zone here. We're now down at the bottom side Fibonacci retracement zone, and if we're unable to hold support here above $61.3 thousand, Bitcoin is then going to be in a position in which it's likely going to be on track to continue down to what could be as low as 57 to possibly as low as $55,000. Now, to further confirm that, what we can do is we can actually look at the heat map, and what you can see is that there is a ton of liquidations now sitting in between $56,000 and $57,000, exactly where that breakdown target would be. You guys know that these liquidation zones tend to act like magnets, right? They tend to act like magnets in the sense that oftentimes you will start to go where the highest liquidations are, and the reason quite simply being because the whales, the lizard people that control these markets, right? They want to pull as much crypto from you as possible, and they can see where these liquidation zones are, and they have enough of an influence to push prices in the direction of those liquidation zones to be able to get as much out of you as they possibly can. It's just quite simply what happens. And what you can see here, knowing that we do have breakdown targets that sit around 57,000, 58,000, and we also have liquidations that sit around this 56, 57, $58,000 level, I definitely would start to get a little bit concerned that we might see this continuation to the downside. But as I said before, it's not guaranteed. There, we still have this 618 to 786 bucks. As long as we're above 61.3 thousand, we are looking good. But again, if we see that $61.3 thousand level lost, I would say at minimum we're coming back down towards this high $59,000 level, and at most we could see this thing really continue to what could be 57 to 55,000, which could be a continuation of this fall, another 6 to 10% for Bitcoin, which does likely entail 20 to 25% of pullbacks for the majority of your altcoins. So again, I don't like to be bearish on the channel, right? I am a bull at heart, and I do think that this thing is going to go upwards over time, but I can't just have that bias all the time. I have to point out whenever I am getting warning signs. I have to point out whenever I'm seeing possible pullbacks and crashes and dumps on the way, and so of course I will continue to do that. At the end of the day, it's not guaranteed. We just need to see what happens with that support, and obviously I will continue to update you every single day, not only just on Bitcoin, but things like Solana and Hedera and Render and Jasmy and Ethereum and much more. So make sure that if you have been enjoying this content, the consistent updates and all of the new style that we have going on here on the channel, that you let me know by liking this video and subscribing to the channel if you are new. Guys, please do not forget, you can get up to $30,000 over on CoinW and get free access to a trading group that alone could make you thousands of dollars. So go take advantage of it. It is completely free for you. So go check it out. It's not an easy deal to come by, and so if you could take advantage of that, that would be phenomenal. Of course, go check them out, and I cannot wait, of course, to see you all very soon in the next one. Peace out, everybody.